A lot of people will say Nakamoto must be Szabo, Nakamoto must have been Finney, but I don't think he was trying to leave any breadcrumbs out there for anybody to follow.
I told my editor about it. He agreed that you found Satoshi Nakamoto. So I got on a plane to Santa Barbara and I drove out to Hal Finney's house. But at this stage, he was already completely paralyzed by ALS. This really awful, debilitating terminal illness that slowly shuts down your body while leaving your mind completely intact. And the time when he started to fade in his physical abilities did roughly coincide with the time that Satoshi Nakamoto started to disappear. And maybe the reason that Satoshi Nakamoto had chosen to fade away was because Hal Finney was physically fading.
There have been a number of stylometric studies, and you see so many of these similarities between Satoshi's writing and those of Nick's, including these little things like having two spaces at the beginning of a sentence and phrases and spellings that nobody else uses.
So I talked to Hal as much as I could, mostly in a kind of one-way interview, because he could really only respond with yes and no answers. And he denied being Satoshi Nakamoto. You could tell that he was amused by the whole idea that I thought he was Satoshi Nakamoto.
One of the really remarkable things from Nick Szabo's writing in those months before Bitcoin was publicly launched is that Nick, in responding to some comments about a post he had made about BitGold, actually asked the other people who were reading him if anybody wanted to help him code this idea up into real software that could work. It was never turned into a reality, but when you look at BitGold, it's hard not to be struck by the similarities between it and Bitcoin.
Maybe it was a duo. It was Szabo and Hal Finney, and now
it's possible. And Hal could have been the coder. I don't know.
You know, this idea that Hal Finney could have been the kind of ghost coder for Bitcoin, I guess it's possible. Other people kind of speculating on Reddit or other parts of the internet thought that maybe Hal Finney had used Dorian Nakamoto as a patsy. If he were ever traced back to Dorian Nakamoto, it would seem like this guy was the creator and Hal Finney would be sort of immunized from it.
Everyone else who was involved in the projects leading up to Bitcoin has released their communications with Satoshi from this period. Nick has avoided doing that and essentially went silent in those critical months after Bitcoin was released.
You know, when you talk to people face to face and they tell you these things, you can get a sense if they're being honest. And if Hal Finney actually had a secret $1 billion cache of Bitcoins, he wouldn't have been able to lie to me so effectively about it. In the end, the reasons to believe that this was all just a coincidence began to outweigh the coincidence itself.
It's almost like an eel. There's something there, you can see it, but as soon as you touch it, it just slides right out of your hands and you're left with nothing. Anybody who is of any note in the cypherpunk movement, and even outside of it too, has at one time or another been called Satoshi. Hal Finney denied it, Nick Szabo denied it, they've all denied it. Maybe one of them is Satoshi, maybe all of them are Satoshi. It really is a mystery.
Ticker from next door. All right, so we're over here, Bitcoin Center, 100 feet from the stock exchange over here. And, you know, some of you guys took a hit last couple weeks. A lot of the big guys, they got their foothold in the business that they weren't a part of in the beginning. I don't know what's going on. But I don't know. I wouldn't write off Bitcoin that easy. I know that Bitcoin is going to change the world. It's changing the world already. And we have to stand tall and proud as Bitcoiners and early adopters. They don't know anything about new technology, but once it starts making sense, they throw their dollars behind it.
You know, unfortunately, early adopters make the roads that we all travel down, and they are usually paved over in the process. The first guy through the door gets shot, you know, but somebody's got to go through the door, but they're gonna get shot. Charlie Shrem, Ross Ulbricht, Julian Assange, they got shot coming through the door. But we are all utilizing the freedoms and technologies afforded to us because they knocked the door down.
Hey, Michael, can I put you on speakerphone for a minute? If I know how.
Hello?
Hey, Michael, can I ask you, where did you buy Bitcoins?
Where did I?
Yeah.
There's a number of exchanges, but
Did you lose, how much, do you still have them?
I still have them. I've lost 90%, whatever.
You put it into it? Can you use it? Do I want to buy it? No, not today. Though it is going to be around.
I don't know.
Did you ever use it to buy anything?
I bought some heroin.
Michael!
No, I've never used it.
No, okay.
They should go back to, day one and just start all over. Forget about Bitcoin, call it something else. I think it's been so tarnished now with this, with the Silk Road, and I just think, that all that stuff about $400 million disappearing, and you're just not going to get off the ground. Nobody's going to, like Warren Buffett said, stay the hell away from it.
To put all the cards on the table, I'm going to be leaving the department in the coming weeks. And if you